Living alone sounds peaceful, doesn't it? No one messing with your thermostat. No socks on the floor. No one asking, "What's for dinner?" But here's the truth we don't always admit. When the silence stretches too long, when the evening feels a little too quiet, when no one notices if you've eaten or not, that's when the emotional traps show up, subtle, sneaky. And if we're not careful, they steal our joy without making a sound. So today, I'm going to walk you through 7 emotional traps you must avoid when you live alone, and how to take your peace back. Trap number 1, letting silence turn into loneliness. There's a difference between peace and isolation, and you'll feel it. The moment the silence goes from comforting to deafening. At first, living alone feels calm. You can think clearly. You finally get time for yourself. No interruptions, no one arguing over the remote. But if you're not careful, that silence turns into a voice, a cruel one. It starts whispering things like, "No one cares if you're here. You don't matter like you used to. Everyone else is out living, and you're just sitting." And the worst part, you start to believe it. You stop reaching out, stop opening the blinds, stop making breakfast with care. Because what's the point? Let me tell you something important. Just because a house is quiet doesn't mean it has to be empty of life. You can live alone without being lonely, but you have to fill the silence intentionally. Turn on music in the morning. Call a friend instead of just texting. Read aloud to yourself. Say prayers or affirmations or even nonsense just to hear your own voice. Sound is life. And when you add sound back in with purpose, with heart, the silence stops being scary. So don't fall into this trap. Don't let silence write a story that was never true. You're not alone. You're just in charge of your own space. And that's a powerful thing when you remember who you are. Trap number 2, tying your worth to how productive you are. When you live alone, you're your own witness. No one sees how you spend your day. No one's there to say, "Good job," or "Take a break." And after a while, you start measuring your worth by your to-do list. Did I clean the kitchen? Did I pay the bills? Did I get enough done to feel like today mattered? And if you didn't, shame sneaks in. You start feeling useless, lazy, like you've wasted time. But here's the truth. You are not a machine. You are not a checklist. You don't have to earn rest just because no one's watching. When you live alone, the trap is this. You feel guilty doing things just for joy. You think, "What's the point of baking if no one's eating with me?" Or, "Why bother getting dressed if I'm not going anywhere?" But joy is still sacred, even when it's private. Bake the cake, wear the dress, dance in the kitchen. Not because someone's watching, but because you are enough, even on the days you don't accomplish much. Trap number 3, replaying old conversations until they hurt again. You ever catch yourself standing at the sink, doing dishes, and suddenly your brain hits rewind? You're back in that one argument from 10 years ago, back in that hospital room, back in that phone call where someone said something you still can't forget. Living alone means your mind gets more airtime. And if we're not careful, it fills the quiet with reruns of pain, what you should have said, what they should have done, what you wish had happened differently. And the worst part, you feel it all over again, like it just happened. That's an emotional trap, because it doesn't change anything. It just reopens old wounds. But here's what helps. When the memory hits you, say this out loud. "That's over. I survived it. I choose peace now." Because healing isn't forgetting. It's choosing what gets to stay on repeat. Not everything that enters your mind deserves a seat at your table. Trap number 4, believing no one understands. When you live alone, especially as you get older, it's easy to start thinking no one gets what this feels like. Everyone else seems busy, surrounded by family, wrapped up in grandkids and holiday plans. And you're watching from the sidelines. You think, they wouldn't understand my kind of quiet, my kind of ache. So you stay silent. You stop sharing. You stop reaching out. But here's what you forget. There are millions of people just like you, feeling the exact same way. They don't post about it. They don't wear it on their face, but they feel it too. And you won't find them by waiting. You'll find them by speaking up, by joining that group, by going to that community center, by replying to that comment online that made you feel something. Because when you say, "I get it," someone else whispers, "Me too." And suddenly, you're not invisible anymore. Trap number 5, thinking you're too much for other people. This one cuts deep. You go to share something emotional, a story, a worry, a memory, and you stop yourself. You think, "They're busy," or worse, "I don't want to be a burden." So you shrink. You nod and smile. You keep conversations light. You pretend everything's fine, because somewhere along the way, you started believing your feelings were too much, too heavy, too complicated, too sad. But let me tell you something true. Your feelings are not too much. They are human. They are sacred. They are allowed. When you live alone, it's easy to self-edit, to keep your truth tucked in like an old letter. But people want your realness, the right people at least. So go ahead, send that text. Say, I miss you. Say, I'm struggling today. The ones who love you, they won't run. They'll lean in and remind you, you were never too much, just too quiet for too long. Trap number 6, forgetting to celebrate small joys. Living alone means you have to be your own cheerleader. There's no one clapping when you fix the faucet. No one saying good job when you finally clean out the fridge. So what happens? You stop celebrating, you stop noticing, and before long, every day feels the same. Here's the truth. Joy shrinks in silence, but it blooms when acknowledged. Even small things. Light a candle for no reason. Write a note to yourself after a hard week. Buy flowers. Not because anyone's coming over, but because you're here. You are reason enough. Joy doesn't have to be big. It just has to be felt. So don't wait for a party. Celebrate the fact that you're still here. Still learning. Still growing. You're doing better than you think. Trap number 7, believing it'll always feel this way. Some days it feels endless. The quiet. The routine. The same walls, the same chair, the same meal. You wonder if this is just it. If the best moments are behind you. If love, laughter, and purpose are things for other people now. But let me remind you of something. Feelings are not facts. And loneliness? It lies. It tells you things won't change. That nothing new is coming. That the world has forgotten you. But the truth is, life can still surprise you. You're not done. Not even close. The phone might ring tomorrow. The letter might come. You might laugh so hard next week that your stomach hurts. It's all still possible. So don't make today's feeling into a lifetime sentence. Let it pass, like a wave. Because the moment you believe this is the end, you stop reaching for the middle. And let me tell you, there's so much beauty in the middle. If you're still here, listening, I just want to say this. You're not weak for struggling. You're not broken because some days feel empty. You're human. Living alone can be peaceful, but it can also be painful. That doesn't make you any less strong. It just makes you real. So if any of these traps sounded familiar, I hope you know this isn't the end of your story. There's joy ahead, connection, growth. You're still becoming. And the fact that you care enough to listen, that tells me everything. If this message touched something in you, please subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Let's keep walking through this season together. One step, one story, one breath of hope at a time.